Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well. Oh boy, it's amazing. In the space of like, what is it, 4, 5, 6 hours, everything can flip upside down. Yeah, video number 1 was out earlier on. You can go and check it out. But I'm going to be honest with you. I normally point you to video number 1. There's not much point going to video number 1 today. Because what I'm about to tell you now is basically answering everything I asked in video number 1. So it's unbelievable. Everything's just flipped. We've got clarity on quite a lot. Well, let's get into it. Starting off with the big news that we got on Victor Osimhen. Osimhen. This guy. This guy. He's made a decision. You know what? I'm actually quite relieved that he's made the decision. Yeah? Let's get into it. Unbelievable what he's done. Here it is. So breaking, Victor Osimhen has rejected Al Hilal proposal. Despite agreement club to club with Napoli for €75 million fee, Osimhen says no to the Saudi Pro League club. Galatasaray will insist to sign him with the race now open again. We had Ben Jacobs with a similar thing. Victor Osimhen has turned down Al Hilal. Travel and medical were scheduled to complete the deal in time for the Club World Cup and a €75 million package in place with Napoli. However, Osimhen has formally rejected Hilal's offer as Buchilaba first called. And I'm going to show you Buchilaba, who does know Victor Osimhen personally, so we have to bear this one in mind. Nigerian journalist, but has close ties to Victor Osimhen, did say first, before anyone, Victor Osimhen officially rejects Al Hilal's 5th offer. He has decided to not move there no matter the money offered. Case closed. Main priorities stay back in Europe, with the top Italian club very interested in other European clubs. He's going to take his time. So, okay. Just like I said in video number 1, where I was like, you know what? I'm quite relieved. Maybe it's all coming to an end. Guess what? No. This might actually go on till deadline day again. Yeah? Now that Saudi's out of the way, Osimhen has all the time in the world. He actually has all the time in the world. He can go on holiday. He can go and relax. Clearly, look, fair play to him. I will say this, fair play. Clearly, it's not about just the money. Yeah? Because if it was, he'd be first class to Saudi. Just no questions asked. He had 800k a week on the table ready to take if he wanted it. He said no. And it's not like he has said no outright to every single... no, it's not like he said no outright just from the get-go. He allowed Al Hilal to continuously come back with an improved offer, come back with an improved offer, come back with an improved offer. No. So clearly it's not just about the cash. I think that he's not saying no to the cash, but he does want European football. And I think he does want top-level football. But this is where we have to be honest here. And this is where he has to be a little bit honest. And he has to come to a little bit of a compromise. Because what it seems like he has been expecting isn't what European clubs are going to offer him. So he does need to come into a bracket here. If it's not about the money, he needs to come into a bracket here that is acceptable to the European clubs that he wants to play in. But obviously not neglect himself, not come all the way down to 100k a week. I'm not saying that. You know, if he's in that margin of 200 to 250, I'm sure that can be done. I'm sure that can be done, man. You know? Now, some would say, what, before tax or after tax? Depending on the country. This is where he needs to prioritize and he needs to compromise. And not just go, no, you know what? I deserve 300k a week. Boom. You know, I don't care. I'm not moving. Because there's no European club that has the financial capability to do that at the moment. So this is where he has to be logical. Galatasaray have come out with one hell of an offer, to be honest, considering the level of Galatasaray. It's not too far off from what the Saudis were offering. When I say too far off, I'm saying in relation on a scale. Right? Because what Saudi offers, no one can offer. But it was decent. Really decent. We were hearing the other day that it was in the margins of 20, 25 million euros a year. That is mad. Considering for Galatasaray, that is nuts. So, look, he has to be honest and not be asking for too much. If he does want to stay in Europe, you want to stay in Europe? No problem. You're not about all the money? Cool. You actually want to play in top-level football? Fantastic. You got to make it realistic for clubs to come and get you, my friend. Yeah. So, because, look, we also have to consider, it's not like he's been playing week in, week out at the highest level. That's another thing we have to consider here. He was playing week in, week out at Napoli. It crumbled at Napoli, not because of what he was doing on the pitch, because of his relationship with the club. Personal relationships broke down. He wasn't playing as much. Value comes down because of that. Later on, he tries to find the move. That breaks down. Ends up finding Galatasaray, last resort. He plays, but it's the Turkish league. So you have to understand here that you can't be asking for the world. Let's see what happens, but he is going to be staying in Europe. Listen, I was going to say, you know what? I see him staying at Galatasaray, but now that... listen, I said that he was going to go to Saudi, and he hasn't. So I see a lot of you in the chat, a lot of you in my comments on the first video today. Younes, he's coming to Chelsea. He's going to come to Chelsea. I can guarantee there's a lot of you Nigerians here. They're going, Younes, look, relax. He is going to become a Chelsea player. And I'm like, how the hell have you come to that conclusion, my friend? We were in for him last summer. It never worked. Do you think it's going to work this time? I am convinced Chelsea are not going near him. That's me anyway. Then again, I've been wrong on a few things, so who knows? Who knows? You know, look, if you're asking me, just me, yeah, if I was at Chelsea Football Club and I had the power, yeah, believe me, I'd be on the phone to, I would have already signed the guy. I would have signed him last season. He'd already be playing for me. Yeah, that's how much I want Osimhen. I just have to be honest and say realistically, does it look like it's happening? I don't think it is. But we'll see. If he's not going to Saudi, it means this saga isn't going to end next week or the week after. It's going to go on for a little while, I feel like. Osimhen likes to do things his way, doesn't it? So we'll wait and see how this one's going to drag out. I think he's going to wait for other European clubs to maybe make an interest or show an interest. And that's going to take time. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts. Now, Al Hilal are funny. Al Hilal are moving how I want Chelsea to move. They moved to Osimhen, it didn't work. They offered him the flipping world, and it didn't work. So they've gone on to the next guy. Who's the next guy? Among the strikers, Al Hilal has activated many options as revealed yesterday. One of them is Victor Gyökeres from Sporting Portugal. For the number 10, Al Hilal tries to get Bernardo Silva from Man City as revealed today. These guys. They want Gyökeres. They tried to get Osimhen, didn't work. Now they've gone to Gyökeres. And I've been here saying, Chelsea Football Club, please get me one of these guys. maybe I should buy an Al Hilal shirt. You know, maybe. You know, I don't have a Saudi team. Maybe I should get an Al Hilal top. They know what they're doing. Unbelievable. Listen, if they've missed out on Osimhen, and it's not going to be Chelsea getting Gyökeres, please, Al Hilal, please get Gyökeres. I will say that if it's not going to be my club, I hope it's Al Hilal. Because at that point, no one gets him. And if no one gets him, cool. I'll take that. If we're not going to go in for him, then no one gets him. I am happy to live with that. Yeah, happy to live with that. Because my fear is that he goes to a rival or someone we're competing against and he performs and we look stupid. I don't want that happening. So, Al Hilal, listen, if it's not going to be Chelsea, please start making moves. That's the latest on Gyökeres. I do have a little update about Gyökeres at the end of the video. Stick around. Let's get to Chelsea. Maignan, what's the latest? Fabrizio saying, still no agreement between Chelsea and Milan for Maignan. Conversations ongoing, even on Sunday afternoon to try and find a solution. Let's see what Chelsea decide to do. Chelsea feel he wants to come, but Milan aren't accepting £12.6 million. There's not much time. Contacts ongoing. We still have... This is from Nico Schira. In Italy, Milan ready to agree on personal terms with Roma's Mile Svilla following contacts last week. This is where I'm led to believe that Milan are also looking for a replacement. And they're not prepared to just accept a deal for Maignan who'll be out the door without them actually getting a replacement ready. I feel like there maybe is a bit to that. That's just my logic, by the way. Just 2 + 2 is 4. Do you reckon that's the case? Let me know down below. Let's keep reading on Maignan and Chelsea. Enzo Maresca always watches Italian football and really appreciates Maignan. Now, if you did pay attention to the France game earlier on, right? France-Germany. And you could see that, yeah, on the ball, at feet, Maignan is actually pretty effective, isn't he? Now, obviously, if you've watched AC Milan or you've watched some level of France national team over the last few seasons, you would know. Hence why I'm happy for Maignan to come to the club. For me, that is a big upgrade. Because he's a good goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper. But he can play at feet. He can play at feet better than Sanchez, that's for sure. Right? He's reliable. So I'm all for it, which is why I'm just like, listen, pay the money and just get this done. Right? Get this done. Please get this done. But he can play to feet pretty well. So that is something to consider. I'm not surprised Enzo Maresca likes Maignan. Let's keep reading. It's not about Milan rejecting or accepting bids right now. It's time to talk between the clubs. Chelsea want a solution by Tuesday night, or they can continue with their keepers, or maybe go for a different target. We also have, as of tonight, Maignan is an important target for Chelsea to do, says Fabrizio. And Chelsea were interested in Maignan last year. He's a long-term target, but Milan refused to sell him. I don't remember that. No one said anything there. No one said anything on that last season. Maignan's name didn't come up. Unless I missed something. But I don't know. Anyway. I'm not sure if that's to just make it look like we were in for goalkeepers when really we just wanted Robert Sanchez and that's it. But I don't know. I'm glad that we're finally in for Maignan now. I'll happily take him. And it's like I said, I still think a deal gets done. By tomorrow, Tuesday top, something happens. Something happens. It has to. The gap is so low that it has to. We can't sabotage the entire deal. And neither can Milan over that. You know? So I'm expecting it to get done. Let's see what happens. But I think Maignan might be the first player that we agree on. Maybe we get someone else across the line afterwards, but we have some updates. So that's Maignan. Let me know down below what you think, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. The latest on Ekitike. Fabrizio saying, I have been told that there's no concrete negotiations between Chelsea and Frankfurt for Ekitike. Only a phone call 2 days ago to ask about the price, which is 100 million euros. Let's wait until later in the window. Maybe I give this a 35% chance as it stands. What is Fabrizio and his percentages now? Is that, you know, is he improving his content by trying to get percentages in now? You know, 35% here, 40% here, 60% here, 20% here. 85% here. I don't know. Because he did say 60% for Maignan and he brought that down to 45. And now it's looking like it could actually end up happening. I don't know what the percentage is now. Is it 50-50? I don't know. But for Ekitike, he's put it as 35. And look, on this, like I mentioned yesterday, I mean, the price is stupid. 100 million euros is dumb. Frankfurt are delusional here. Delusional. So no concrete negotiations between the clubs. I understand that. Personally, I understand that. Now, here is what Fabrizio has also said. It will be impossible for Chelsea to sign Ekitike ahead of the Tuesday Club World Cup deadline. This means we are going to the Club World Cup with Delap, Jackson, Gu is still in the squad. I know there was talk of a loan. That nothing's happened. So I'm assuming he's going to be there too. So we are going with 3 strikers, but those are the 3. We'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens. But you best believe those are going to be our strikers. I think there's going to be more priority on Delap in order to see what he can actually do in a Chelsea shirt. But we'll see how it all works. We'll see what that balance is going to give us as well. What dynamic is going to be working between Delap and Jackson. So then at least, at worst case scenario, going into next season, if Jackson does stay, we have an idea of what we're getting. Now, talking about Gittens, talking about the other name that I think might actually happen, well, here's the latest on Gittens. Get ready, new bid for Jamie Gittens is incoming. Chelsea want to try to be fast. I'll give you details soon, but it will include add-ons to try and strike an agreement. Chelsea held talks with Dortmund. Joe Shields, again, is doing a special job in this with a mark of Ex-City Academy on Chelsea team. This is why I think this one gets done before Tuesday. Right? I also think it's going to be Maignan first, and I think Gittens comes in last minute. I think an agreement is close. Again, we're talking add-ons. That means the deal is basically over the line, I reckon, man. I think it's going to be Gittens. And we've got actually something to talk about Gittens later. But let's show you this first before we possibly talk about his replacement at Dortmund. Check this out. Chelsea are really trying to push for Gittens in the next few hours. He is very highly rated by Chelsea's board, and I can reveal today that they had a verbal bid rejected in January for him. We bidded in Jan for him. You see what's mad? So what? We were interested in Maignan last summer. We went for Gittens in Jan, but none of these things happened. And we didn't even hear about these things. This is why I have to be honest. When we're not hearing about these sort of things, I question it. Because Chelsea used to operate in silence. Chelsea are not operating in silence anymore. Actually, on the odd occasion, Neto was done in silence. That was quite cool. But nowadays, with the likes of Fabrizio, Ben Jacobs, all this, it goes to show there is, in terms of marketing, the big incentive to let the information out. So then you get a gist of what the public perception is like. What the response from the other club might be, you get some information. But there is also the thing of if the club doesn't want information coming out, you best believe the club can keep it within. So it does tell you, whenever information comes out, you best believe the club are fully aware that that information has come out, which is why during the season, myself, Johnny done the same. We had other guys talking about PR. And why certain bits of information comes out the way it does and at the time it does, because some more times than not, it's done intentionally. With the club's knowledge. They're the ones pushing it. This is why I say, and it's clear, if this is actually the case, it proves if the club wants to keep something under wraps, they will. They will. Roman used to do that all the time. So, let's see what ends up happening. But like I said, I think Gittens will happen. I think Maignan will happen. And then Ekitike, we'll see what happens down the line. Maybe Frankfurt will feel forced to sell later on in the window. So that's that. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let's talk about Santos real quick. So apparently several clubs are trying to sign Andre Santos and make a deal happen. But Chelsea are planning with the player and Santos also wants to stay. You see, I had a fear of this. At the end of the season, I did say, look, clubs are going to come in for Santos. And I reckon we'll sell. Now, I've heard Santos. We've heard the rumblings that Chelsea are looking to keep him. He's part of the plan. Santos has said, I'm ready to come into the Chelsea team. I'm ready to play. I think he stays. I think he stays. It's been made pretty clear that I think Santos comes in. He's going to be playing the Club World Cup. Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, Santos. That'll be our midfield. So we'll see. So yeah, personally, I'm a little bit more reassured now. I don't think that he'll be sold. But the fear was coming from, he's had a great season at Strasbourg. He's a top player. And other clubs will come in for him. Now, if Chelsea are going to keep hold of him, then fair enough, cool. I think that's the right thing to do. Don't sell him. Don't sell him. Because there is a player there. So we'll see how this one plans out. Now, talking about Gittens, who's his replacement? Oh, I remember saying this when this player left. Dortmund are interested in Jadon Sancho as Chelsea continue discussions for their winger, Jamie Gittens. That's from Sky Sports. I wouldn't be surprised. I did say once Sancho left that, look, he could be on his way back to Dortmund. I don't see any other realistic option out there for him. If he's not staying at Chelsea because he's choosing not to, and he's not going to stay at United because they're not going to keep him, which other option is there? Is Dortmund. Dortmund will just take him back. He done well there. And that's the place where he will have his salary justified because there's a track record already. And he wants a high salary. So Dortmund might do it. No other club, I think, will do it. So that was my logic. Seems like that now Dortmund are actually looking at him to replace Gittens. How ironic is that? Anyway, let's see what happens on that one. But that's Dortmund, Sancho and Gittens and that saga. More on that tomorrow. I'm sure we'll get more information. I'm pretty certain. But to wrap up, let's go back to Gyökeres. This is where I need Al Hilal to start making moves because this could be happening. So, Fabrizio saying Manchester United had more contacts with all parties involved in the Gyökeres deal this week to understand how the situation was developing for the Swedish striker. Salam alaikum, Habibi. Yes, how are you, brother? All good, all good. Listen, my friend, I need you to go to buy Gyökeres. Gyökeres needs to be done immediately. Manchester United interested. We need you to go and put the money. Give him whatever he want. Whatever he want. Yes, Habibi. Yes, Habibi. Check, blank check, no number. Just give and let them sign. Thank you very much. You do it now. By tomorrow, I need it done. Okay. Salah. Right. Saudi are on it. Move, Al Hilal, move. Please, move. Listen, if you want Gyökeres now, yeah, none of us are getting him, then none of us are getting him. You better get him instead of these lot. I swear, if United get Gyökeres, I'm going to be fuming. Yeah, I understand Ruben Amorim, but I'm sorry. Yeah. Nah. Because I would like Gyökeres in my team. There is no excuse not to go in for someone like Gyökeres. He's not even on a high salary. Hence why you think United are loaded right now with their struggles and what they're going through. Listen, they're in a pretty similar situation to the rest of us, I would say, in the Premier League. Actually, I think we're in a better position financially than them lot. They're a mess. Their club needs major surgery. If they're actually going to still land Gyökeres and give him what he actually wants, it means anyone could have given him what he wants, right? I need Al Hilal to make moves. So then, no one gets him. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll see what happens. I got to be honest, yeah, I'm actually a little bit fearful United will get him just because of Amorim. He's worked with Amorim. He worked really well with Amorim. It worked brilliantly at Sporting. They've done big things together. I think that could tempt him enough. You know, and as much as we like to mock United and the way that they're moving at the moment, it's Manchester United still by name. For players, maybe they think, oh, you know what? Maybe there's a way to turn this whole club around and get it back to where it should be and all of that. You know, maybe there's that because United has a lot of heritage and history. Maybe it happens. But we'll see. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you're here. Subscribe, notification bell on. Catch you then in a bit. Take care and peace.